first, if you thought there was nothing else that could be said about the Josh Rosen, Kyler Murray, Kyler's in, Josh is out situation in Arizona, there is more to be said, and Josh Rosen recently said it in an appearance on the Rich Eisen show. He explained that he still hasn't heard from the guy who drafted him a year ago and who drafted Kyler Murray this year. Here's Josh Rosen on GM Steve Keim.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that truly did kind of frustrate me through this whole process that I still haven't heard from my old GM. I didn't talk to him for months before, still haven't talked to him months after. But that was kind of frustrating. But for the most part, I'm just ready to put that whole chapter behind me.
That's the first hint of any frustration on the part of Josh Rosen, who handled the situation very, very well. And the fact that he was left dangling by Steve Keim for months before Kyler Murray was picked and still hasn't heard from him after that. Look, we may be getting a little bit of a window into the dysfunction that is the Arizona Cardinals, Chris, because I'm not saying that Steve Keim failed to contact Josh Rosen maliciously. Maybe he just felt awkward about it. Maybe he didn't know what he was going to say. Maybe he felt guilty. But whatever, if you get it, right? And the world can be divided into two general groups of people, those who get it and those who don't get it. If you get it, you find a way to get in touch with Josh Rosen, either before you draft Kyler Murray, right after you pick Kyler Murray, right before you trade Josh Rosen, or after you trade him. And Rosen said he's heard from Cliff Kingsbury multiple times. Kingsbury never coached the guy.
Right.
Keim drafted him. This one, the more I talk about it, the more upset I get, because I thought Steve Keim was a certain way, but when I hear that, maybe I've been wrong for the last 6 years about Steve Keim.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I get Steve Keim maybe not talking to Josh Rosen prior to the draft, right? Just doesn't want to tip his hand, doesn't want anything out there, wants to keep that first pick close to the vest and not let anybody know what's going on. Okay, I get that. That's fine. But, yeah, to me, it's inexplicable that you don't call a guy who you drafted with the number 10 pick the previous year when you draft the number 1 quarterback and you're going, okay, well, obviously this guy's going to be, out the door, or, hey, this is what's going on with this situation. It's like business ethics, okay? I mean, that's one thing. It's, kind of the breaking of the man code. It's an unwritten rule of the NFL. I mean, come on. Call a guy, hey, Josh, sorry it didn't work out here in Arizona. We didn't expect to love Kyler Murray the way we did, but we really appreciate everything you did for us. Good luck with the next chapter of your life. I mean, is it that difficult? To me, that is what proper leadership is. That's what you should do as a GM of a football team. And to a guy who you put in a very tough position for a few months, really, and handled it other than unfollowing the Cardinals the night of the draft, okay, on Twitter or whatever. I mean, Josh Rosen was pretty much perfect in the handling of all this number 1 talk Kyler Murray conversation.
Yeah, especially when you consider he's a kid in his early 20s,
Exactly.
right? And he was led to believe he's the guy in Arizona. And now all of a sudden, not only is he not the guy, he had to spend 3 months feeling that, oh, they really don't want me, right?
Yes, right.
Oh, I'm on my way out. And nobody's being straight with me here because they don't think they can trust me with the information because they think I'll tell somebody. And then I will ruin their little party on that Thursday night when they get to tell the world they're taking Kyler Murray as if it was a surprise at that point. So I think Rosen handled himself incredibly well. I'm just really disappointed. I'm sad to hear this about Steve Keim because that tells me that I've read him wrong, because I would think that and I'd love to know. And Steve, you need to address this. You can't just no comment. There has to be either he didn't actually not call him, or there's a reason for why he didn't do it. But it just feels like it cries out for something from Steve Keim.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.